Palestine, a land where empires rose and fell, prophets walked, and faiths were born. From the ancient sands of Canaan to the golden domes of Jerusalem, this small strip of land has seen thousands of years of dynastic rule. Egyptian pharaohs, Babylonian kings, Roman emperors, Islamic caliphs, and Ottoman sultans, each left behind layers of history that shaped not only this land. Today, we'll uncover the story of Palestine's dynasties, an ancient journey through power, faith, and civilization. Before it was called Palestine, this region was known as Canaan. The Canaanites and Amorites ruled powerful city-states like Jericho, Megiddo, and Hazor, some of the oldest cities in human history. Around 1550 BCE, the Egyptian pharaohs extended their mighty rule over Canaan. Temples, hieroglyphs, and scarabs from legendary kings like Thutmose III and Ramses II have been discovered all across the land, undeniable proof that Palestine once bowed to the pharaohs of the Nile. It was a land of tribute and trade, a crucial link in Egypt's vast empire. By 1000 BCE, new tribes began to rise. The Israelites, under King Saul and later King David, they united much of the land and established a powerful kingdom. Jerusalem became their capital, and Solomon's magnificent temple transformed the city into a spiritual center for their faith. But after Solomon's death, this golden age ended. The kingdom tragically split into two, the kingdom of Israel in the north and Judah in the south. This division weakened them, paving the way for foreign dynasties to reclaim control and once again altered the destiny of the land. The great empires were coming. The formidable Assyrians invaded in 722 BCE, crushing the northern kingdom of Israel. Then from the east came the Babylonians, led by the infamous Nebuchadnezzar II. His armies laid siege to Jerusalem, destroyed Solomon's temple, and exiled the Jewish people to Babylon. It was a time of immense sorrow. But history turned a new page when the Persian Achaemenid dynasty, under the legendary Cyrus the Great, conquered Babylon. In a remarkable act of tolerance, Cyrus allowed the exiles to return home, a moment of profound hope in Palestine's long story. Jerusalem's second temple was rebuilt, and peace returned to the land for a while. In 332 BCE, a new force swept across the region, Alexander the Great. His conquest ended Persian rule and ushered in a new era. Greek culture, art, and philosophy spread like wildfire. Theaters were built, cities were redesigned, and Greek became the common language of learning and commerce. After Alexander's sudden death, his generals fought over his vast empire. Palestine found itself caught between the Ptolemies of Egypt and the Seleucid dynasty of Syria. This rivalry led to growing tensions and eventually rebellion. The most famous of these was the Maccabean Revolt, which gave rise to the short-lived Hasmonean dynasty, a rare independent period when Palestine had local Jewish kings once again. But this independence was not to last. By 63 BCE, the mighty Romans arrived under Pompey the Great. They turned Palestine into a client kingdom, ruled by the ambitious Herod the Great, a king known for rebuilding the Jerusalem temple into a breathtaking wonder of the ancient world. But Roman rule was often brutal and brought simmering rebellion to a boil. In 70 CE, the Romans crushed a massive Jewish revolt, and the cataclysmic act destroyed the Second Temple, a tragedy that changed the course of history forever. Later, the Eastern Roman, or Byzantine Empire, inherited the land. As Christianity became the state religion, Palestine was transformed. Churches and monasteries sprang up, and Jerusalem became one of the holiest cities on earth. For Christians, home to sacred sites like the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. In the year 636 CE, a new chapter began as Muslim forces under Caliph Umar ibn al-Khattab captured Jerusalem. The takeover was peaceful, a promise of religious freedom was made, and the city opened its gates. Under the Rashidun, Umayyad, and Abbasid dynasties, Palestine thrived as a center of culture and faith. The iconic Dome of the Rock and the Holy Al-Aqsa Mosque were built on the Temple Mount, sacred symbols that still define Jerusalem's skyline to this day. Then the Fatimid dynasty from Egypt took control, followed by a dramatic invasion from Europe. The Crusaders seized Jerusalem in 1099, establishing their own kingdom. But the land's destiny changed again in 1187, when the great Muslim leader, Salahuddin Ayyubi, known in the West as Saladin, liberated Jerusalem, restoring Islamic rule under his Ayyubid dynasty. After fending off the Mongol threat, the Mamluk dynasty of Egypt rose to power. They were formidable warriors and masterful builders who took control of Palestine, rebuilding its cities and securing its vital trade routes. Then, in 1517, a new superpower emerged, the Ottoman Empire. Sultan Selim I conquered Palestine, and for the next 400 years, Ottoman sultans ruled the land. They built roads, aqueducts, mosques, and markets. Under their long reign, Palestine became a relatively peaceful province, a strategic crossroads connecting three continents, Asia, Africa, and Europe. It was an era of stability, the final great dynasty to rule this ancient land. The world was changing rapidly, and after World War I, the 400-year-old Ottoman dynasty fell. The British took control under what became known as the British Mandate from 1917 to 1948. This marked the definitive end of dynastic rule in Palestine and the beginning of the complex modern struggles over land and identity that continue to shape the region today. Through all these empires, Egyptian, Babylonian, Persian, Greek, Roman, Islamic, and Ottoman, Palestine remained what it always was, the heart of civilizations and the crossroads of faiths, or land coveted by all. Every dynasty, every empire, came and went. They left their mark in stone and memory, but ultimately, they passed into history. But Palestine, the land of prophets, kings, and empires, still stands as a witness to humanity's oldest story. A story written not in ink, but in stone, faith, and time itself. Thank you so much for joining us on this incredible journey through history.